Welcome to Decode with me. I'm Iris Knightstar. Today we're going to continue decoding the message in this week's randomly generated word search and decoding the message that it carries for us. If you're new here and you'd like to decode your own message alongside this collective one, then pop back to episode 36, and that way you can see the grid before I found any words. And that way you can do the puzzle yourself and just note the order in which you find the words, and that will be your personal message alongside this collective one. Okay, so before we start looking for words, we're going to pull a familiar and see who's going to step forward and give us a little bit of guidance today. I always think of these a bit like the images on tarot cards. You know, they add a little bit of extra meaning. Okay, so we have the owl stepping forward today. Let's see what aspect. Lovely, so we have the winter owl. So today's familiar, the winter owl, brings an energy of quiet perception, patience and deep seeing. It represents wisdom that comes from stillness and experience rather than action. This familiar favours observation over reaction and clarity over haste. The tone it brings is reflective, calm and discerning. Okay, let's see what words we see today. There's a little closer look, so you can have a look as well. Okay, I don't know if you've seen this one. Wisdom is the ability to apply understanding with discernment. It is not just knowledge, but knowing when and how to act and when not to. Wisdom integrates experience, insight and restraint. Wisdom chooses timing as much as direction. To calculate the numerology of a word, we allocate a number from 1 to 9 to each letter of the alphabet. And then, so for wisdom, it would be 5 plus 9 plus 1, and so on. And so if that's a bit too much maths for you, then, you know, you can pop to my website. We have the numerology word calculator there, and you can just literally type in the word and click calculate, and it'll do all that for you. But if you love maths, then you're really going to love Kakuro divination. But we'll get to that another day. Okay, so we do all that, and wisdom actually adds up to 11. And 11 is a master number, so it carries heightened awareness, insight and illumination. It bridges understanding and intuition, asking us to perceive beyond surface information and recognise underlying patterns. This is insight that sees connections that others might miss. It's appearing here in box 6, which you may recall from other videos. We divide the grid into 9 boxes, like so. And as you can see, wisdom sits here in box 6. The box 6 is the position of responsibility, structure, and what you actively maintain in daily life. It's asking how insight is applied, not abstractly, but practically. With an 11 here, awareness seeks expression through small, considered actions rather than dramatic change. Wisdom becomes useful when it is lived. I've also seen another spirit word, and if you've been here before, you'll know that spirit words are words that appear in the word search, but not in the list of words here at the bottom. I've highlighted one already here, earlier in the week saw. And we have another one up here. Zoom. It's a great word, zoom. Okay, so it's sitting in box 3, the position of perception and interpretation. Zoom suggests adjusting focus, looking closer or stepping back to see more clearly. It supports the winter owl's influence by reminding you that perspective determines understanding. So if we bring all of this together, the message today is about refined perception in practical matters. Wisdom as a master number 11 in box 6 asks you to apply insight gently without forcing outcomes. The winter owl encourages patience, while the spirit word zoom reminds you to adjust your viewpoint rather than your effort. If something feels unclear, don't rush to resolve it. Change the lens instead. Clarity comes from seeing properly, not acting faster. The winter owl reminds us that wisdom doesn't hurry. It waits for the moment when seeing clearly makes action simple. So this concludes today's reading. We'll be back tomorrow for the final reading of the week. We're going to find the rest of the words, do the daily reading as we have done today, but then we're going to bring everything together and look at the arc of the message over the week. So don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss that one. And until then, decode, discover, divine.